Hi everyone! Welcome back to Hot and Spicy Guyana. I hope you're all doing well. Today I have another one of my favorite Guyanese recipe, curry fish. I'm going to be currying some red snapper and I'm bringing to you my version of how I do it. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe and I hope you follow along and watch to the end of the video so that you can make my recipe one of your own. Let's get into the ingredients. Here, as you can see, I have one green mango which I've gone ahead and chopped, 2 small eddoes which I've also gone ahead and washed and chopped. I have 1 tomato, again I've washed it and chopped it, 5 small okras, I have 1 pepper, green onions, and cilantro. I also have salt to taste, 1 tablespoon of garam masala, 1 tablespoon of curry powder, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Here I've added half of an onion and 8 flakes of garlic which I've gone ahead and chopped and grated, and I've also added 1 other hot pepper. This I've chopped up as well. I have my all-purpose seasoning, some all-purpose flour for frying up the fish, half a cup of water, and half a cup of coconut milk. This is what my fish looks like. It's 1 red snapper. I've already washed, chopped it up, and seasoned it. I also have some oil which I've added to a pan, and I'm going to heat this for frying of the fish. The first step after seasoning and washing your fish is basting it in some flour. So now I'm going to put my oil on maximum heat and I'm just going to let this come up to a heat. While I'm doing that and getting ready for frying of the fish, I'm just going to baste it in the flour and wait until this comes up to a heat, and then I'm going to add it to the pan for frying. Now that I've finished basting my fish and my oil has come up to a heat, I'm just going to continue adding this in so that it can fry, guys. You just fry this until it's golden brown, but you don't want to fry it until it's well cooked because it's going to have additional cooking when you make the curry. Just fry it just enough so that it's a little bit golden brown on both sides, and then you can take it off. Now after frying for about 5 minutes on each side, I'm now going to take these out and continue frying the rest of the fish. As you can see, guys, it's nice and golden brown. You can now have this just as if fried fish with some chips. or you can have it with bread or whatever you like. I'm just going to add my fish head in now and let this fry until golden brown on each side, and then I'm going to take it off, and the next step is getting the curry. And now for the exciting part, everyone. Now it's combining all of the wet ingredients and making a paste. I've added 2 teaspoons of oil to my pan after frying my fish, and I'm just going to let that come up to a heat. While that is on, I'm going to mix my paste. To this container, I've added the tomato paste as previously mentioned with some water. I'm now going to add my masala, curry powder, garlic and onion along with the pepper, which I've chopped and grated. I'm going to add salt to taste. I like adding my salt and all-purpose seasoning to this mixture just because I find that it gives it a more nice flavor instead of adding it to the pot. And I'm also going to add my all-purpose seasoning to taste. I'm going to be linking my direct measurements down in the description box, so make sure you look down there to get the full measurements. Now I'm just going to continue mixing this while my oil is on heating, and then I'm going to add this to the oil and let this cook until that raw flavor from the curry and the masala is evenly distributed and all cooked out. So I'm just going to make sure that I have all of this goodness, guys, into that pot. I've just added a little bit more of water so that I can get everything out. And now I'm just going to turn this around and let this cook for about 5 to 6 minutes until it's the rawness from the curry and the masala is cooked thoroughly. This is the consistency you're looking for when the water has evaporated from the mixture and you can see bits of the oil in there, guys. This is how it looks like after it's been cooked for 5 to 6 minutes. Now I'm going to go in with my tomatoes and I'm also going to add my eddoes and my mangoes. I'm just going to give this a twirl so that everything gets evenly distributed and you have that wonderful aroma and flavors and everything mixing together. I'm just going to let this fry for 2 minutes before adding in my coconut milk and water. Now we're going to go in with our coconut milk. And just a little bit of our water. And then we're going to give this another twirl around so that everything gets evenly distributed. And we're going to cover and let this cook until the potatoes and the mangoes become tender. At this point, you can also give it a taste to see if it's to your liking and what else it needs. If it needs more salt or more seasoning, you can add that at this point. So now I'm just going to give this a taste to see if it's okay for me. Yep, so now I'm just going to put my lid on this and let this cook until the eddoes are fork tender, and then I'm going to show you guys the next step. Now, after about 15 minutes of cooking, my eddoes and mangoes are now soft. So I'm now going to add, as you can see here, I'm now going to add in my okras, my cilantro, pepper, and green onions. The reason why I didn't add the okra in the beginning is because they cook very fast, and if you allow it to overcook, then it gets really slimy in the curry. So I'm just going to add this right now and let this steam for about 5 to 6 minutes. And then I'm going to add in my fish. Ooh, look at that, guys. Doesn't that look delicious? Now I'm just going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and add the fish and show you guys. Now we're going to go in with our fish. After cooking for about an additional 5 minutes, I'm just going to add the fish in now, and then I'm going to show you guys the next step. You don't want to add your fish in the beginning, guys. As you can see, I'm adding it towards the end just because the fish can get mashed up, and we don't want that. So when you're adding this in, just be careful and use caution. We're just going to place this in. And because the fish has already been fried, it is halfway cooked, so you don't need to leave this in for a long time. We're just going to leave that in and just take some of the sauce and put it over the fish and let this simmer for another 5 minutes. At this point, you can also taste to see if you like it the way it is, or if you want more seasoning, you can also add to the pot at this point. So now I'm just going to cover this with some of the curry gravy, and then I'm going to cover and let this simmer for another 5 minutes. So there you have it. Now I'm going to take this off and get ready for plating. I hope you guys enjoyed this, guys. As you can see, my fish curry is ready to go. We are going to enjoy this with some rice, and I'm going to show you guys what the finished product looks like.